Opening shot of a book cover, The Selfish Gene, by Richard Dawkins. Voiceover. Have you ever heard of the term, the selfish gene? It's a concept introduced by evolutionary biologist Richard Dawkins in his book of the same name. Cut to a shot of Richard Dawkins. Voiceover. Dawkins argues that genes are the driving force behind evolution, not organisms themselves. In other words, genes are not just passive carriers of genetic information, but they actively manipulate their environment to ensure their own survival. Cut to an animation of DNA strands. Voiceover. This concept can be traced back to the very nature of DNA, the molecule that carries genetic information. DNA is essentially a self-replicating molecule, and it has evolved to be very good at making copies of itself. Cut to an animation of a gene being passed down from parent to child. Voiceover. When organisms reproduce, they pass on their genes to their offspring. The genes that are best at surviving and reproducing in their environment are the ones that get passed on to the next generation. Cut to an animation of a group of animals. Voiceover. This means that genes are essentially competing with each other for survival. The genes that are best at manipulating their environment to ensure their own survival are the ones that will be passed on to future generations. Cut to a shot of Richard Dawkins. Voiceover. So, in a sense, genes are selfish. They are not concerned with the well-being of the individual organism, but only with their own survival and reproduction. Cut to an animation of a gene manipulating its environment. Voiceover. This concept has important implications for understanding the evolution of complex biological systems, such as the human brain. It suggests that the human brain, with all its complexity, is ultimately the result of genes competing with each other for survival. Closing shot of the book cover. Voiceover. So there you have it, a brief explanation of the selfish gene concept. If you're interested in learning more, I highly recommend reading Richard Dawkins' book. Thanks for watching.